1965 to 1978, Project Serpo, Human-Alien Exchange Program, Part 18. The following story is either the greatest kept secret of all time or a complete fraud. You decide. In this episode, we hear all about an alien escaping Area 51. This presentation is of the information posted on the website serpo.org from a retired senior government official. The website was intended to facilitate the gradual release of confidential documents pertaining to a top-secret text change program of 12 U.S. military personnel to Serpo, a planet of Zeta Reticuli, between the years 1965 to 1978. Chapter 8. The Gate 3 Incident. This is the true story of the Gate 3 incident. This incident occurred in April 1983. Gate 3 was a designation for an entrance into the Groom Lake complex. This gate connected the Groom Lake complex with Area 51. The gates surrounding the Groom Lake complex were the responsibility of a private security company, Walkenhut Corp. There was a mixture of private security and military security for the complex. The incident occurred when a visitor extraterrestrial entity, ETE, being housed at Area 51 S2 facility, escaped. A massive search was started by military and private security forces. The visitor was on foot and left the underground S2 facility through an open vault door. Part of the search team was the director of security for the Groom Lake complex and an agent from the Air Force Office of Special Investigation, who was the counterintelligence officer for the complex. Both were traveling in a jeep from the back gate of Groom Lake to the gate leading into Area 51, called Gate 3. As the jeep approached Gate 3, the OSI agent noticed the guard was missing from the required location outside the gatehouse. As the jeep stopped, the OSI agent got out of the jeep to investigate. The OSI agent walked up to the gate to check on the guard. As the OSI agent got closer to the front door of the gate, he noticed the interior of the gate was blood-splattered. The OSI agent noticed only small pieces of human body parts were left of a human being. The OSI agent returned to the jeep and contacted the Central Security Control and reported the findings. The director of security contacted his office by way of a radio phone mounted inside the jeep. The OSI agent, armed with only an automatic pistol, walked around the area, searching for a perpetrator. The OSI agent located the visitor lying down near an underground water culvert. The OSI agent challenged the visitor, ordering the visitor to give up. The visitor walked away, followed by the OSI agent. At some point, the OSI agent fired his weapon at the visitor as a warning. The visitor turned and pointed something at the OSI agent. The OSI agent fired directly at the visitor, hitting the visitor directly in the chest with 2 rounds from the .45 caliber automatic pistol. The visitor fell to the ground. It took about 18 minutes for additional security forces to arrive. The visitor was placed inside a containment chamber and transported back to the S2 facility. The visitor recovered from the wounds. The incident was investigated by the FBI and Air Force Office of Special Investigation. The incident remains classified. The name of the creature involved in the Gate 3 incident was an archcloid. The alien is described as one of the big-nosed grays. It was a 5'6" tall gray, or 10 being, with large, black, slanted eyes and a mushroom-like head with 4 long fingers. They have yellow eyes with vertical pupils and very large, beaked noses. They are genetically engineered by the Ebens and were given to the U.S. government for observation, examination, study by the Ebens. This particular visitor lived in the bubble, officially known as the Clean Sphere, located between levels 2 and 3 of the 8-level S2 facility at Area 51. If memory serves me right, there were 12 to 15 compartments within the Clean Sphere, or bubble, which was located at the south end of the S2 facility. Both the archcloid and J-Rod lived in 2 of the 12 to 15 compartments marked visitor containment. It's important to note here that J-Rod and the arch-colloid creature were not one and the same, and that the claims made by some that they were are just plain wrong. The arch-colloid escaped, not J-Rod. What we speculate is that, because the arch-colloid had to live its primary existence in the clean sphere, and could only spend a minimal amount of time in our atmosphere, that an overexposure to our atmosphere somehow affected its sanity and intellect. Furthermore, it caused the creature to become delusional, disoriented, and lose its mental faculties for sound reasoning, analysis, and judgment. In street parlance, it lost its mind, or was of unsound mind, which accounts for his escape from the high-security clean sphere facility and the resulting homicide of the security guard. Here is the detailed background information on the Gate 3 incident, which led up to the unfortunate series of events in April 1983. This is all explained in a 300-page report issued on the Gate 3 incident, which combines the investigative efforts of both the FBI and the AFOSI. The Ebens showed us creatures they created. Yes, they can clone almost any living tissue into a creature via a method called rapid cycle cloning. J-Rod was a creature created by the Ebens. He was intelligent, contained a brilliant mind, and was able to adapt quickly to our environment. The second creature, the arch-colloid, was primitive. The second creature was a form of a slave. It could be controlled, given orders, and was safe, or at least we thought it was safe. The second creature was controlled by a brain chip and was functionally controlled by a little black box. The Ebens provided this creature to us for medical experiments. J-Rod became frustrated with our efforts to control this creature. The arch-colloid creature was able to fully communicate telepathically with J-Rod. At some point, the creature expressed a desire to be free. J-Rod released the creature, and thus we had the Gate 3 incident. After the incident, J-Rod was placed in a secure confinement facility. The arch-colloid creature, which survived the shooting, and once medically healed, was placed inside a more secure facility and restrained by a system provided to us by the Ebens. The creature died about 1 year later from a mixture of the trauma associated with the shooting incident and his brain activity, which simply failed. After this incident, J-Rod was never fully trusted again. He was under strict control at all times. His mannerisms changed. His mood changed because of the increased detention. J-Rod, although gentle, was upset over these new measures. As for the Gate 3 incident, everyone has their own opinions. With respect to the OSI agents directly involved in the Gate 3 incident shooting, I don't want to put anyone in a dangerous, sticky situation. Some of this information is still extremely classified. To this day, many involved in the shooting still have great differences of opinion as to what should have been done, especially with the containment team en route and only minutes away. I don't want to be accused of being a Monday morning quarterback. The agents on scene did what they thought was right, and while they were generally praised, others differ on that point. No one has mentioned the poor guard. The examination of the scene revealed the guard was imploded. The arch-colloid had a hidden weapon on his body. The weapon, which was recovered and locked up, contained a form of an energy-directed beam. The beam struck the guard's body and imploded it. The largest piece of a body part left was about the size of a quarter. One eyeball was found intact. The arch-colloid lived for about 1 year after it was shot, but it was in constant pain, since our doctors couldn't adequately and effectively treat all of his problems. According to the information we developed from the arch-colloid, which appears in the 300-page report, the guard threatened him, and he killed the guard in self-defense. The investigation revealed the guard's handgun was never fired. The gun was not destroyed, which brings up another interesting point. If the guard was threatening the arch-colloid with a gun, why didn't the arch-colloid destroy the weapon? As you can see, there are many unanswered questions. In closing, the OSI special agent fired 6 shots, striking the arch-colloid 4 times. The agent fired from a distance of 165 feet, which is really outstanding shooting. Source, Serpo.org, via Maurice Osborne. My take: maybe the aliens should have been kept as guests, as opposed to prisoners. Just a thought. Of course, I don't know enough about it to be sure. Maybe they were dangerous, or maybe we were just treating them like lab rats. What do you think?
Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon page. Members get early access to videos, ad-free, and you can see content you can't see anywhere else.